guys, welcome. Lower body class Tuesday, let's get it. Today I just want to make sure before we start that you guys have some floor space to move around today. We might be taking up some area. I think we'll spend most of our day on hands and knees, but we might do some standing stuff as well too. We'll see how the class goes. So lay on your back, hug your knees into your chest, flex the feet, and take a moment here with your knees hugged up and in, rocking it out side to side. Let the upper body open and widen across the floor. We're just going to start with some rocking here on the sacrum, side to side. And you may notice the more open you tilt the pelvis out, the more it gets into your tailbone area, the more you hug the knees into your chest, it'll get up into your sacrum area. So just take a few moments here, nice and restorative, some rocking before we get started today. Good. And then we're gonna hug that right knee up and in towards the chest. The left foot comes on the mat, or you can extend the leg long, flexing both feet. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale firm the straight leg on the mat, or plant the foot on the floor as you hug the opposite knee, your right knee, closer in towards your chest. Stay open and broad across the front side body. Inhale into your side waist. Exhale out the mouth. We're going to keep the feet flexed. Do 2 more breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. And let's take the left hand over the top of the right thigh. Right hand comes out to the side. Take a nice supine twist. So we don't want the knee to come all the way over to the mat. We just want so far as you start to feel a stretch from pressing the palm down into the thigh. Deep breath in here. And then exhale, extend long through the outside of the right leg. Inhale, bend the knee. Your left hand stays hooked on the thigh for a little bit of an anchor. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. And we really want to stabilize through the right hip, bending and straightening from the knee joint. Let's do 2 more. Keep grounding that right shoulder back and down towards the mat behind you. Last one, hold here. Deep breath in. Exhale. Soften across the right side waist. We want to extend all the way long through here. Good. And then we're going to turn the toes in towards the ground. And then exhale, kick the heel up towards the sky. So there's a little bit of internal rotation. I'm pointing the toes and the leg in towards the ground on the left side. And then exhale, kicking up from the heel. Okay, so working along that diagonal. If this feels a little wobbly, you can always bend that bottom knee to give yourself more stability and take both hands out long like an airplane by the waist side to kind of plant yourself into the ground. So we're lengthening out from that outer hip, keeping that internal rotation. Inhaling, touching and tapping the toe, maybe halfway down. Exhale, lifting and lengthening the leg. So breathing at your own pace here. You don't necessarily need to follow me. But let's go for 2 more. Last one. Hold the leg all the way up. You can either keep the bottom leg straight or bend and plant the bottom knee. Okay, so the right knee is stacked over the hip. You can take a generous bend if your hamstrings are tight, or if you're more open, work towards straightening and extending the leg. Good, and imagine both hips are on railroad tracks, so extending straight out. We're gonna inhale, lower that heel towards the mat, and then just hold there. Okay, so you will have your left side stabilizing here. You can either have the knee bent or leg straight, keeping that right heel hovering just above the mat. Good. Exhale, brace in the lower core. And then inhale, interlace the fingertips high up overhead. Okay, so extend the heel and fingertips in opposite directions. And then exhale, we're gonna kick the leg up, take the hands up and over to the right. Inhale, lengthen down. Exhale, same side. So to make this more of a challenge, as we inhale and extend, we're gonna hold here, exhale, lift, curl the backs of the shoulders off the mat. Exhale, crunch to the right as we come up. So working into our obliques, working into our hamstring mobility. If that's too much for us today, just keep your head, neck, and shoulders on the mat, kicking the leg and the arms. Maybe we try a crunch every few, just to get a little bit more challenge. All right, so this whole time, the left side of the body is stabilizing and engaging, planting the foot into the mat. We're extending the heel long on the ground. Let's go for 3 on your own pace. Good. For 2. And 1. We're gonna hold the twist, whether you have your shoulders up or down, and just take little pulses across. Cross, cross, cross. Good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everything comes up. Hands lift high, leg stays lifted. Deep breath in here. Good, and then exhale, point the foot, flex the foot. Working through the calf. Keep the legs straight as you can. Point and flex. Stay nice, long, and open through the upper body. Point and flex. Let's take it in a circle. See if you can smooth out your circle as much as possible. Keeping the leg lifted. You guys are getting a sneaky hip flexor workout in here. Just holding the leg in place. Going the other way, rotating in the ankle. We want to have as much movement as possible. So notice if one part of the circle feels a little bit chunky or like you don't have as great of control. You really want to slow down. Give yourself some room to breathe. Last 2 circles, and 1. Good. Exhale, bring the hands high overhead, leave them there. Deep breath in, and then exhale, you're going to try to kick your foot to your hands. Inhale, release the foot over the hip. Exhale, try to kick the foot into the hands. So the shoulders and arms stay stable. The leg is kicking up into the hands. So we're just going to take a few movements here. If this feels good, you can curl head, neck, and chest up, hold your crunch, and then just move the leg. All right, so whether you have the backs of the shoulders off the mat and you're making it into a crunch, or we're just holding in our dead bug modification, our focus is on the hip flexor, the top of the leg squeezing and compressing up and in towards the chest. Good, you guys. Exhale in. Inhale out for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Inhale, extend that leg all the way long. Hands come up high, reach up ahead, overhead again, deep breath. And exhale, if you have that bent knee on the floor, you can just hug that knee in. Otherwise, left knee comes up into your chest. Flexing both feet. Deep breath in, open across the front side body. The chest, the back of the throat. Exhale, soften. 2 more breaths here. In through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Keep the feet flexed. Deep breath in. And exhale, last breath. Right hand comes over the top of the left thigh. We're going to turn and rotate the opposite direction this time. Left hand goes out behind you. Anchor the chest and shoulder onto the mat so we're not spilling over. The goal here is not to get the knee to the mat. We just want to feel this length through the left side body. And first keep that bend in your knee on the top thigh. If it feels a little unstable as you move through this, you can always bend the bottom leg at 90 degrees as well. Okay, so deep breath in. Exhale, extend out through the nice edge of the left foot. Inhale, bend the knee. So the knee to hip alignment stays stacked, and we're extending and bending from the knee. Inhale, release, heel to glute. Exhale, extend, leg straightens out. Okay, so take a few here. We really want to target that outer hip complex with this internal rotation exercise. So good for us. Let's take 3 more on the pace of your own breathing. Okay, last one. Hold the legs straight, draw the toes in. So squeeze the whole hip in towards the ground. Inhale, lower the leg down. Exhale, lift it up. So squeeze from the glute. Keep the leg internally rotated as you lower and lift. Again, if you feel wobbly, you can always bend that bottom leg for a little extra stability. I like to keep my right hand, on the hip so I can feel what my left hip is doing as it's lowering and lifting. Good, you guys, let's go for 5. Inhale, release, exhale, lift for 4. So if this is starting to hurt or not feel great in any way, you can always decrease your range of motion, so just take smaller. Maybe your lower and lift is here, that's fine. Good, for 3. Last 2. And 1, we come all the way up. Good, you can plant that right foot on the ground or extend the leg all the way straight. Your choice. Okay, inhale, lengthen the left leg out long, flexing the foot. Exhale, lifting it up. Inhale, lengthen it out. So I'm watching that my heel is tractioning along with the ankle, knee, and hip, all in alignment with each other. Nice, you guys. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, lifting up, nice and slow. Let's go 2 more. Watch that the tailbone in the back is not overly arching. Keep a slight rounding. The spine is nice and flat here. Hollowing out in the belly. Last one. Hold here. Inhale, reach the hands up high overhead. Good. Deep breath in. And then exhale, you can either curl the chest and backs of the shoulders off the mat outside of the left leg, or you can just keep the head, neck, and chest on the ground and point over to the side. Okay, maybe get a little extra kick there if you're leaving the head, neck, and chest on the mat. If you're in your crunch, we're inhaling, opening out, exhale, up and over to the left. Same side working. Okay. Just exploring the modification or the level that feels good for you today. And whatever modification you're in, just try to get the best quality exercise possible from that particular pose. So being really mindful of how are you stabilizing through the left side? How are you extending up through the heel and trying to keep that leg engaged as much as possible? Can you squeeze out a little bit more rotation in the chest when you come up? Let's go for 2. Good. Last one. Good. Inhale, release. Come back down, take a breath. Exhale, we're going to draw the hands up high over the shoulders. Point and flex the foot. Maybe circle the wrists as we do that. Okay, circle the wrist the other way. You can circle the ankle. It's kind of like a pat your head, rub your tummy. Kind of fun exercise. Good. Make sure you roll the circle in both directions. You can take the webbing of the fingers and press the palms up towards the sky. Stretching out the ankles, the wrists, and fingers. Keeping that left heel extended high over the hips. Good, go ahead, release that. Hands stay lifted, so you can keep them here and just work squeezing the leg towards the chest, or for extra challenge, deep breath in, Exhale, peel yourself off the mat and squeeze in. Squeeze the leg in. Squeeze the leg in. Good. All right, so whatever variation you're working, bring intention all the way through the feet. So you can point, you can flex, you can point, you can spread the toes, just make it intentional. Keep stabilizing through that right side of the body. Squeeze up and in. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, release the leg out. Stretch the right leg long. Interlace the thumbs. Reach the fingertips and toes in opposite directions. Extend, extend, extend. You can wiggle the hips. And exhale, hands out to the side. Good. All right. Just gonna give a quick check-in with you guys. How you doing? You can give me a thumbs up or a hell yeah if you're good. All right, cool. We're rolling. All right, so stay on your backs. Stay on your backs. We're gonna bring the heels about hips distance apart, arms long down by the waist-side, and bring the 2 peace fingers onto your front hip points. You can feel kind of the bony parts of the front of your hips, and that's where we'll rotate around. So first just tilt and tuck the pelvis. So see how much mobility you have here, just a little forward and back motion, anterior, posterior rotation, tilting and tucking. Okay, so we say tilt when we go forward, we say tuck or round when we go back. So we're gonna slightly tuck around the pelvis, elongate the back of the pelvis, deep breath in, exhale, flex the feet and squeeze your glutes. So here already begin to feel the backs of the legs and the glutes turning on and firing up, imagining both knees pointing in the same direction, moving forward. We're gonna slowly lift the spine up, lifting the pelvis high. As we come up, the feet will come down. Inhale, hinge at the hip crease. So there's a shelf that's created right on the front of the pelvis where we did our tilting and tucking. Inhale as we float back down. Keep the knees squeezing in towards your midline. So if you feel like your knees are bowing open to the side, that's normal. It indicates that we have a limitation in mobility in our lumbar spine. So you can widen the feet a little bit and see if that works for you. But try drawing the knees in. So as you roll your way up, we're getting a little bit more space in the front of the hips and the back of the pelvis. Good. Inhale, hinge at the hips, slow down. So a lot of times what I see is this, kind of like a rolling and a melting. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but we want to make sure that we know how to hinge and press at the hip. Okay, so we're really driving from the glutes here. Okay. So think hip thruster over a rolly motion with the spine. Right, so just practice that on your own for a couple more times, really feeling into that hip hinge. Okay, maybe 2 more. Good. All right, last one. Slowly roll down. Perfect. All right, come onto your side so you guys can face me. And I'll demonstrate first what we're gonna do next. We're gonna do some clamshells. So we're gonna lay on your side like you're at a photo shoot. Hand in front of the spine. You can support your head here. You can get a pillow and lay on your arm, or you can keep your head all the way down. I like to have a little support because this keeps the spine in a nicer angle. Hand in front to help you stabilize. Or you can bring the hand here on your hip. So we want to make sure the hips are stacked. You can kind of, a lot of times people will spill their pelvis forward or open artificially back. Nice and stacked. You can draw the back of your hand along the back and make sure your back is straight as well. So from here, deep breath in, flex the foot turn just the ankle up towards the sky. Inhale, release it down. So we're getting more internal rotation. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, release out. So we're squeezing right up here at the top of the pelvis. If you guys have trouble feeling that spot or you're not quite sure where you're at or what to do, please feel free to unmute yourself, let me know. So you might feel all kinds of things firing up right now. What we really want to work is here in the back of the hamstring, back of the glute. Good for 2 and 1. So come to about 70 or 80% of your max. Try not to cave in. See how this top hip might slide up. Try not to cave in. Keep the hips stacked. Squeeze the ankle up, and we're just going to do little pulses here. So maybe you bring your hand from the ground to the hip so you can feel what's happening. Just going to squeeze at that end range. Squeeze at that end range. Nice. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hold the ankle where it is. Hold the hips where they are. Just rotate the knee open and close. Good. Rotate the knee open and close. So to facilitate this, I'm actively flexing this bottom leg and I'm really trying to push it into the ground to create stability for myself. So just like when we were laying down, this whole right side of the body is active. Rotate open and close. So there shouldn't be a lot of movement in the ankle, and we should be really trying to work this from the hip as much as possible. Squeeze back, squeeze down for 3. Good. Imagine there's like a weight behind you and somebody's pushing that leg. Inhale, release for 2 and 1. Good. Inhale, take a break. You can punch out that side of the glute. Sometimes that can be a lot. Perfect. So we're going to place that left hand in front of us again. Inhale, extend the left leg long. Inhale, extend the leg all the way back, and then exhale, reach it forward. Inhale, release back. Keep that bottom leg stable. Exhale, forward. So try not to open like a mermaid. Keep the spine and torso stable, right leg squeezing, and we really want to isolate this range of motion, bringing the hip all the way back and all the way forward. Good. Foot stays flexed. For 4. For 3. Nice, guys. Last 2. And 1. We're going to take the leg forward, up, back, forward, up, back. Nice. Keep the bottom leg still. Keep that torso stable. Last one this way. And reverse. So now we go up, down, back. Up, down, back. I'm gonna get you guys ready for kickboxing class here. Gotta get ready to kick some COVID-19 zombie butt. Gotta open up those hips first. Good. This is so good for the inner thigh, inner groins, especially if you've been sitting a lot. Last one. Nice job. Straighten out both legs, roll onto your tummy. We're just gonna take a little Sphinx pose here with the elbows in front of the body, parallel with the shoulders. Inhale, draw the shoulders back and down the body, press the tops of the feet down, elbows push into the mat. Lift out long through the crown of the head, deep breath in. Exhale, bend both legs, and we're just gonna sweep the legs side to side. Rocking out the pelvis another direction. If it feels okay for your body and you want a little bit more stretch, you can come back down, take the hands underneath the shoulders, push all the way up into upward facing dog, and find the same variation. with the leg. So whichever variation feels good for you today, you can stay on your elbows. Or if you want a little more sensation, you can come all the way up. Okay, maybe tilt the head, side to side. Okay, and slowly roll down again. Forehead is resting on the back of both palms. So I'm making like a little pillow to stack. Forehead rests. We're gonna curl the toes under, so straighten the legs like you're pressing the wall behind you. Deep breath in, and then exhale, lift the left leg high. So I noticed the first thing I did when I did that is I rotated my body open. You may have different compensating patterns. My tendency is to overuse my mid-back quite a lot for everything. So when I'm here, I'm focusing on keeping my upper body, the torso stable, hips are pressed, keep pressure in the abdominals, and I'm really actually trying to drive from the glute and the hamstring, lifting up. So imagine if I were there, I'd be pressing on the back of your heel, your leg is like a lever, and you're kicking the wall behind you. Yeah, just one side, and try not to change anything else in your body, which is surprisingly difficult. So it doesn't matter how high you go, we want integrity in the pose. If it's difficult for you to feel into this part of the glute, you can bend the leg and try just pulsing up instead. That might help you a little bit more to isolate into this aspect. Okay? So whichever variation serves you today, let's pulse it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, you guys. Forehead to mat. Take a breath. And while you're resting, really try to breathe into the lower back area, so right above the sacrum. So try to fill the kidneys. And then exhale. A lot of times we don't really breathe into our lower back body, but it's so good, it's so rejuvenative for us. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, low back. Exhale. Good, really try to breathe all the way down into your low back. Fill it as much as you possibly can. All right, let's do the other side, and then we'll roll over and change directions. So press both heels back towards the wall behind you. Forehead stays on the mat. Okay, inhale, deep breath. Exhale, squeeze that right heel up. So same thing on this side. I kind of dumped over into here. You may have a different pattern. That first time will really tell you where it's at. So over the course of the next few repetitions, don't worry about the height, just feel out how well you're controlling that movement. So again, if you're having a difficult time isolating into that right hip glute, your glute max, which is an extensor, you can always bend the knee and pulse up. So basically we're doing prone, bridge, glute extensions. It's just a different way of accessing the same muscle group. Okay, keep that left leg activated. Okay, whichever variation you're at, let's take 5. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, nice work, you guys. Go ahead, straighten both legs out, give them a little shake. Let's come into low cobra. So turn the chin on the mat. We're gonna take the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows pointing behind you, tops of the feet press. So now the lower body is gonna stabilize and the upper body is gonna move. Inhale, extend out through the crown of the head. Deep breath in, then exhale, lift the hands off the mat so shoulders are squeezing. Inhale, lengthen up. Not through the neck, so we're not cranking in the neck here, but really lift from the upper back. And lower. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Watch me if you need a visual. Lift from the upper back, not the neck. And lower. For 5. And 4. Last 3. Keep the feet planted. If you feel this coming into your low back, you're trying to work from here too much, just the upper body. 2. And 1. Good. All right. Let's take a nice stretch. One of my favorites. The left hand comes out to the side. Right hand comes underneath the shoulder. Bend the right knee. Turn the cheek to the left. Little prone scorpion. I know Jen has done this before. One of my favorite stretches because it hits all the right spots. It opens up the hip, opens up the shoulder, softens the neck, gets into this TL junction of your back, your mid-back. One more breath here, and then exhale. We're going to change sides. So right elbow out to the side, 90 degrees or so. Left hand down in front of the shoulder. Bend the left knee. Turn the cheekbone to the right. Find your scorpion twist. So that bent knee is your little scorpion tail behind you. And exhale, come back over. Good. Shake it out. And you guys can just turn onto your right side or reorient yourselves to face the camera. I'm going to turn myself around so you can see me a little bit better. Yeah, so feel free to take a moment and reorient yourself if you need to. Same thing with the setup. We want to make sure our low back and our spine is nice and straight. Our hips are stacked, so if you feel yourself dumping forward or spilling back, bring yourself back into alignment. Right hip is stacked over left. You can have a pillow, you can rest your ear on your arm, or you can just support your head and neck like I'm doing, okay? Deep breath in, exhale, squeeze just the ankle up towards the sky. Inhale, release it down. So I'm imagining the air around me got a lot thicker, and I'm really having to push through resistance, activating this bottom leg to bring that ankle up towards the sky. So internal hip rotation. So it may look like the ankle is doing a lot of the work, but I'm really trying to initiate this movement from the hip as much as possible. Good, keep a nice long line in both sides of the waist. Soften the jaw, soften the forehead. Nice, easy breathing. Let's go for 3. Good. Let's go for 2. And 1, hold the ankle where it is, maybe about 70 to 80% of your max range. We're gonna hold the hip where it is, just rotate the knee open. Imagine there's a weight behind you, you're pushing. Inhale, rotate, close. Exhale, squeezing it open. Inhale, rotating it close. Exhale, squeezing it open. Good, you can use that top hand to stabilize if you need. Exhale, squeeze. So keep that bottom leg engaged, squeezing into the mat. That will intensify the sensation. We're gonna stay here for 3 more. Rotate, open. Inhale, close. Good. Try to keep the head, neck, and chest all in the same line as the spine. Last one. Good. Awesome, you guys. Bring the leg back down. Inhale, straighten it out. If you need to take a break, punch it out, you can. If you're good, we're going to extend that leg long. Inhale, reach it behind you. Try not to throw the back. Keep the hips stacked, but just squeeze from the extension of the glute. Exhale, leg reaches forward. Inhale, extend behind you. Exhale, reach the leg forward. Good, you guys. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, squeeze forward. Inhale, reach it back. Good. Exhale, squeeze forward, just checking the time. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale, squeeze forward. So really easy to take this into the low back. The left leg squeezing into the ground is going to help you stabilize against all of that. Good, reach back. And forward, last two. Good, last one. Nice work, you guys. We're gonna reach the leg forward, up, and down. So making circles. Good. Forward, up, and down. Forward, up, and down. Two more. Forward, up, and down. Last one. You're gonna rotate, finish your circle, and then rotate the other direction. So come up, forward, back, up, forward, back. Good, nice, you guys, really well done. These are just to feel good, and they're a great way to explore what your usable range is. So over time, your circles will get bigger and more controlled. So if your range is not super big today, if your range is just here, that's fine. We want to make smaller circles with more control. So we don't want to have to overcompensate or use other muscle groups that we shouldn't be using in order to facilitate this movement. Let's finish up our last two circles here, being really mindful of our breath. Good, last one. Awesome, go ahead, lower the knee. You can shake it out, punch it out, whatever you need to do. Nice job. All right, so let's roll over onto our bellies. Coming into Sphinx pose one more time. Inhale, lift, open the chest. And just noticing how this feels a little bit different than the first time that we came into it. Maybe there's a little bit more space. Maybe your hips are a little bit more on fire. Good, if you want a little bit more sensation, you can come back down, place the hands under the shoulders, press the tops of the feet, and really peel yourself up. Cobra pose, upward facing dog. Option to lift the knees off the mat for the full extension. You can always keep the knees down if you want. Good. Deep breath in, exhale, plant the knees down, curl chin to chest. Widen the knees a little bit, take a little child's pose. And you can wiggle the hips out, side to side. Release any remaining tension in your lumbar spine. Getting a little massage and stretch for your QL. And all of those erector muscles along the spine in the deep thoracic and lumbar area. Good. Okay, let's inhale, come up to standing on our knees. Okay, so squeeze the glute. Just want to make sure you guys can see me okay. So option, I like to grab a block here. If you guys have a block at home, that's a great tool or prop to use. To have something to squeeze internally. You can kind of see me in the back mirror, but I'm squeezing between the fleshy part of the upper thighs, and we're talking about that tilting and tucking before. If you do this posture in a mirror, you can really see your alignment of your pelvis. So for me, I have a lordotic tilt, meaning I stick my butt out a lot. I have a natural anterior rotation, so I'm constantly reminding myself to lengthen this back down, especially in this pose, and you'll see what we're about to do. So for camel's pose, we want to have a nice straight line in the front of the pelvis, squeezing the glutes. So if you guys look at me from this side, what does this look like? Our bridge pose that we just did at the beginning of class, right? So we're basically taking this concept of what is it like to bring our body in this position and how can we support that, whether we're in prone position, laying on our back, standing on our knees, standing up tall on our feet, etc. Okay, so lengthen the back of the pelvis a little bit, draw the inner thighs up, so engage the quadriceps, and then I'm gonna lift out of the low back as much as I can. I'm going to slide the hands down the back of the legs. If that's too much, keep your hands, fingers face down on the pelvis, and just open your heart back. Elbows stay in. So if your camel's pose is here today, that's fine. We want to keep all of these elements in integrity. If you feel like you have a little bit more space, maybe play with walking the hands back. Once I make contact, I push the hips forward, squeeze the glutes, and lift the chest even more. So I'm still extending out of the low back. So find your variation of back bend. Take a few breaths there, walk it back, and then ease your way into a child's pose, okay? So we're gonna come in and out of this 3 times. The first time is just to feel out where you're at, to feel out the pose. The second time is to work a little bit deeper mindfully. And the third time is for you to really breathe into it. Okay, so that was our first try. We'll come back up. Deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, press the hips forward. Squeeze the ankles behind you. And maybe this is where we're at today. We're just practicing drawing the elbows in. We're practicing lifting up out of the waist. We're practicing holding all of these elements in place before we prepare to go back. If we feel safe to move back, you can practice walking the hands down the thighs, maybe reaching back for the heels. If there's room, open the chest, press the hips forward even more. So find your variation, Ustrasana, camel's pose. Take the next few breaths to deepen into it. And then exhale, walk yourself up the way that you walk down. Hands forward, child's pose. Okay, inhale, slowly come up. Last time. Back bend. Prepare yourself, squeeze your block around the pelvis just a little bit, lengthen the back of the tailbone. Hug the outer thighs in, lift up and out of the low back. Hands slide down the sacrum. Ease your way back down, squeeze the glutes, don't lose that engagement. Find your way back. Ustrasana, or any variation, modification. Again, if we're just here today, that's fine. That's a beautiful place to be. There's lots and lots to still work here. So be in your pose, be in your breath. And exhale, slowly walk your way out. I find when you're just learning this pose, short to medium bursts are the best way to do it. You can take your block out. Keep the hips high. Plant the chest down. So we're in puppy pose variation, meaning the hips are lifted over the knees. You can wiggle out the chest. If this feels like too much, just place the hands on the ground, that's fine. Take a moment, come back to your breath, inhales and exhales. Soften the forehead, soften the jaw. And then slowly trace your way back up. Good, nice job you guys. So you can stay as you are. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. We're gonna keep standing on knees, like so. And then we're gonna draw the knees about hips distance apart. Inhale, hands reach up high overhead. Big breath in, and then on the exhale, hands come down to the side. Press the hips back towards your left diagonal corner, towards the heel. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, sit the hips back towards your right diagonal corner. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Good, so this can be really, really yummy if you're happy here. Stay here. If we want a little bit more side body stretch when we reach up, keep one hand open. So the side that you're sitting towards, that hand stays lifted. Inhale, reach up. Keep it lifted, nice. Once we add in that little element, we can rotate the chest towards the side that we sit back towards. Okay, if you're fine here, just hands up, hands down, that's fine. Okay, if you want to add the side bend, great. If you want to add the side bend and the rotation with the chest, great. So if you're rotating, we're not just throwing the arm back, we're really trying to open and lift through the upper thoracic. So take just a few breaths. Try to slow this down if you can. Notice if you feel more sensation coming into something versus coming out of something. And as for your neck, if it feels okay, your gaze can follow the palm of the lifted hand. Otherwise, you can look forward or down for balance. Good, let's do maybe 2 or 3 more on each side, depending on your own pace. But this is really good for elongating out the side waist, for opening up the underside of the armpit, very underloved area. Really good for lymph node release. Good. And then when you guys are done, come all the way back up, both hands reach up high overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the sternum. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, hands come back, forehead towards the mat, folding down. Inhale, reach back up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the sternum. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, hands sweep back, forehead comes down. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. One more on your own pace of breath. And next time you come up high overhead, hold here, deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands down towards the hips or in front of you on the mat if you need a little extra stability. We're gonna take the left leg out towards the side. If you guys need to reorient and turn on your mat, that's fine. Take a moment. Okay, so we're either here with hands down or here with hands lifted. And first we're just gonna pulse forward and back a little bit. So if you're lifted, it's a little bit more challenging. You gotta keep the hips stacked as you pulse forward and back. If you're on hands and knees, you can just rock it out, forward and back. So take the modification that's appropriate for your body today. If you want a little bit more stretch, come down on hands and knees. If you wanna challenge your balance, stay up high. All right, inhale, wherever you're at, we're all gonna meet, stacking the right hip over the knee. Hands out to the side, elongate, inhale. Exhale, side bend out towards the extended leg. This is called half gate pose. Reaching and stretching side body. Deep breath in here. Exhale, windmill it up and over, second side. The right hand comes down. This is a great opportunity to use a block for a little support under that bottom hand. Okay, so there's one long line from the crown of the head, out, extending out through the toes. Flex the toes, the foot on the straight leg, deep breath in here. Squeeze the glute of the bent knee side. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift it up. Guys, like, I thought we were done with these. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Good. Nice work. Squeeze and lift. For an added balance challenge, you get rid of your block. Hold yourself in place. So, gentlemen, this is a really good practice for acro, for side star. Yes, good. Nice. You can always just keep the hand down for modification. Smaller range of motion for more control. Last 2. And 1, hold it up, little pulses at the top. Pulse 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Top leg comes down, windmill it back up. Deep breath in, exhale, bring your hands towards the mat. We're gonna walk them over towards the opposite side, coming into a bent knee lunge pose. Curl the toes under, pulse it forward and back, get a little bit of stretch in the calf. Good, deep breath in here. Exhale, draw that heel towards the back wall behind you. Push your hands firmly into the mat. Round the belly in, take a deep breath, and then exhale, try to lift your knee up and in towards your chest. Inhale, release the knee to the mat or just to hover above the ground an inch. Exhale, lift your knee up and in towards your chest. Good. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift it up and in. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift, hold. Inhale, straighten the leg out behind you. Try to lower the hips down if you can, high plank. If this is too much, you can always come down onto elbows. Okay? Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift out. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift out. Exhale, knee to chest. Let's go for 5. And 4. Take a break when you need to. For 3. And 2. Last 1. Good. Right knee down. Left knee down. Roll back towards center. We're going to change sides. There's a transition I was going to do with you guys, but since we're limited on time and space today, we'll just go into the other side. All right, so your opposite leg is gonna go out. For me, that's my right side. For you, whatever side you started with, you're gonna do the second side. Okay, so same thing, curl the back toes under. Left hip is stacked over the knee, right hip is extended out straight. Modification, you can have your hands on the ground and just rock forward and back. Okay, so this is one variation. Second variation is to come up high on the knee. It's a little bit more challenge and incorporates that same hip hinging that we were practicing at the beginning of class. Okay, so just find your variation, find your challenge. Find what feels good for you today. Nice, you guys. All right, then we're all gonna lift up. Left hip stacks over the knee. Inhale, hands out to the side, deep breath in. Exhale, side bend up and over this straight leg. Okay, keep that torso nice and extended. Inhale, deep breath here. Exhale, left hand windmills down to the mat. You can always take a block underneath the hand. Reach, rotate, right hand high, or keep it on the hip. Flexing out the right foot, deep breath in. Exhale, lift and lower the leg. Nice work, you guys. Okay, for a challenge, lift the hand. For a super challenge, reach the fingertips off the block. Nice, you guys. Awesome, doing great. We have 2 more. Good. Last one, hold the leg up, little pulses at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got it, nice job. We're gonna turn that top hand down, face the mat the other way, draw your left knee underneath. So you are in a modified lunge position or plank position. Back toes curled under, heel stays lifted, press the heel towards the back wall, get a little calf stretch, prepare. Push your hands down on the mat, take a deep breath in, exhale, left knee to chest. Inhale, release, exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, release, exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, release, Exhale, knee to chest. We have 2 more. Inhale, release. Exhale, knee to chest. Last one. Hold here. If you need a break, take a break. If you're ready, inhale, lengthen the leg out. Exhale, bring it on back. Inhale, open. Try to drop those hips down. Exhale, pulse it in. Using your breath. We got this for 5. Stay with your breath for 4. Hang in last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it out. Breathe. Exhale, lower the foot down. Knees come down. Hips come down. Open the chest. Cobra pose. Deep breath. And exhale, tucking the chin, lifting the hips up and back. Widen the knees, take a child's pose. Softening with each breath. Taking your time, really breathing into the back body in your child's pose. And when you're ready, you can slowly trace the fingertips back up. Get the legs out to the side. Bring yourself to a comfortable seated position or anything that works for you. Let's take a moment to place the left hand over the heart or the chest, the right hand over the belly or the womb space. And you can just give yourself a little rock side to side. Closing the eyes. Imagining that you're giving yourself a giant hug or getting a giant hug from a friend. Just thanking your body for all that it does for you. Thank yourself for making this time for practice today. Thank yourself for showing up. And letting this rocking just naturally come to a close, a place of stillness, dropping the hands in your lap. Having a moment just to tap into your breath, maybe a little bit more warm, your body, maybe a little bit more spacious, in your mind a little bit more open after this brief hour of practice. Take one more deep breath in, and exhale, big sigh, letting the eyes open. All right, you guys are done. Great practice today.